it to the 25th anniversary of I Like It Like That. It's funny, I first thought about this when I saw an article, and it was some randomness, Tupac. It was an article about Tupac, and the photo that they used was him going to the premiere of I Like It Like That in New York. And so we were reading the article, and I called my friend Dominic, who was also a programmer for the festival, Dominic Cologne. And then I started reading up on I Like It Like That because I saw it as a kid. I was in high school, or living junior high school. That's all my age out. But I saw it at that time, and I said, oh shoot, Dominic, this is 25 years. And I remember when I first saw this film, I had never seen anything like it. I had never seen a film that where you had Latinos, and you had a brown Latina with curly hair as the lead. I never saw the E-Train on a motion picture before. You know what I mean? And I thought that was just like brilliant, because if you really look at it, 25 years ago, let's figure this out. If you really look at it, this film tackled so many things ahead of its time. Right? Everything from colorism to transgenderism to Me Too to, everything, harassment, machismoism, everything. Afro-Latino. And now, 25 years later, these conversations are loud and clear. And what's crazier about all of this is the fact that Darnell Martin is the first female African-American woman to have this greenlit at a studio. So let me tell you something, because you want to get your flowers while you're still here, man. So Darnell Martin, just in case you didn't know, is an award-winning director, screenwriter, and producer from the Bronx. After attending South Lawrence College and NYU, Darnell has gone on to become a major force in the film and television world, directing some of our favorite shows like Law & Order, Grey's Anatomy, Being Mary Jane, Chicago Fire, Beyond I Like It Like That, she also directed Prison Song and Cadillac Records, which starred Beyonce. And again, in 1994, Darnell had her breakthrough as becoming the first African-American woman to direct a studio-produced picture, I Like It Like That. So, Darnell, this is for you.
Thank you. I gotta tell you, you guys are better than Cannes. We brought this film to Cannes and we got a standing ovation in Cannes. You guys right now are better than that for me. Thank you so much for being here and coming back and sharing this with us. I have to tell a really, really quick story for any actor out there who is going to read for a role and go, wow, I'm really not the type. I'm not the type that's supposed to be that they're looking for, because they give you a breakdown, and typically the breakdown looks a very specific way. Now, if you ever audition for me, I don't give a fuck what you look like. And Lauren Velez caused me so many fucking problems because I had written this part for a flat-chested, scrawny, little short, tiny-looking, woman who almost looked like a little boy. Yeah. she came in, and Meg Simon, amazing casting director, brought her in, and she came in and she destroyed it. And I got so angry after she left. I took the chair, I threw it across the room, and Meg was like, yeah, I know she's the wrong type. I just wanted you to see her because she's so good. And I said, fuck it, I'm angry because I gotta rewrite everything and make this shit work. You know? So it's always, always, always about the actor and what's inside the actor. That's the magic right there. And Lauren, you blessed me, you know, with that. Lisa, John, you blessed me with that. Io, Jose, you blessed me with that. You know, Jesse Borrego, oh my God. You blessed me. And my sweet, wonderful Tommy, who is no longer with us. We love him, he's amazing. Let's have him in our prayers tonight when we see this movie. I used to call him the Christ child, because he just had these beautiful eyes that looked like the baby Jesus, you know? And he was like, why you call me the Christ child? I'm bad. And I'm like, you look like the Christ child to me. But yeah, we were so blessed. This was such, did I miss somebody? Did I not mention somebody who was, who? I did, EO. Yeah, we call Elvis EO. But thank you. He's managing you now, EO. I love you too. Thank you so much for everyone who's here tonight, and the wonderful crew who showed up too. Sorry, Yuli Terrero and Sandra, and oh my God, and Sonia, my assistant back in the day, and Jose Soto. Jose, I said you, an amazing actor. I did say you. Just what? Oh, the Barrio Boys! Oh shit, they're here! Woo! Excellent. Thank you guys. There's so much love here, feeling so much love. I was gonna jet and not watch it, but now I'm gonna have to stay. I love you.
Sit down, though. And now it gives me a great pleasure to bring to you our partner for this event, John Gibson, Vice President of External Multicultural Affairs for the Motion Picture Association of America. John.
Good evening. Oh, no, I came all the way from DC, and we forget what you may have heard. DC is still Chocolate City. It's a lot of black and brown here. You know, typically when I speak in front of a film festival, I gotta rev the crowd up, but y'all are the rowdiest group. And I love it. This film festival is such a special partner to the MPAA. The MPAA is the face of the global film industry. Our members are Netflix, Walt Disney, Paramount, Sony, Universal, and Warner Brothers. And Calixto wanted the actual studio to jump in to do this. And they didn't. So the MPAA stepped in because that's just what we do. This movie is so important on so many levels because before there were hashtags. And when the industry wasn't promoting diversity, when there were no quotas to fill, this film represented the very best of us. And not given my age, but to have Lauren and Lisa and John and Elvis, that's a part of my growing up. They were on the most significant shows where I could see myself. And we appreciate you for that. And to see you now back in the forefront, because there was a lull when these great actors, Hollywood wasn't really calling for them, and there's all this talent. So we want to see them in more and more and bigger and bigger and bigger. So again, on behalf of the MPA, and also I'm a board member of this festival, so I love this film festival. We are happy to be here. We will be, as long as I'm at the MPA, we will be a partner. Every year it will get bigger and bigger. But this is a special film for so many reasons. And Darnell, again, you represent the best. You're not just a treasure, you are an American treasure because you broke ground. All of these directors in film and TV that may not know what you did for them, we know, and we will celebrate. So let's get this started. Thank you all.
Thank you. Hella High Water. She made it here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, oh my God, I love you too. I love you guys. I love you so much. You know what? Calixto kept saying to me, this is for the fans. And I was like, yeah, but I have to take a flight, Papa. Like, I want to be there. He was like, yeah, but the fans. So it still sucks that I can't see the movie, but it's amazing to be here and be part of this thing. All hail the Queen, Darnell, who was doing so much stuff and actually made this movie at a time when I thought, how is it possible that somebody would know my experience? I didn't grow up in the Bronx. I grew up in Rockaway Beach. I'm one of 8. My mom, my extraordinary mom, is here. Coco. I have my family here. But if ever I could have devised an experience as an actor, this would have been the one. And when I first met Darnell and I read the script, I was like, they're not gonna give it to me because I'm not Mexican. They're not gonna give it to me, but you know what? I'm gonna show them how this goes. I'm gonna show them how this role goes. And thankfully, Darnell actually she knew everything that I was doing. I mean, you guys, there's so much I wanna share with you, but there's no time. But I do wanna share a few things. The incredible experience that I had not only with Darnell, who made it okay for me to be Afro-Latina when it wasn't a thing, and now it's a thing. I asked her, like, should I be worried about getting darker? Because you know how it is, like, people don't want us to get darker. And she was like, you get as dark as you want. Don't pluck your eyebrows, wear your hair natural. I want you to be you. I want you to be every single thing that this Afro-Latina personifies. That was you. So I got lucky enough to play the role, but if the role didn't exist, I wouldn't have been able to play it. Now I would write it, but then I didn't know to write it. So again, that was something that Darnell created. But the experiences, John Seda, my Chino, that was 1,000% all in, showed me commitment, man, and love, and how to fall in love with somebody on set, and like, it's all good. My Maggie, Magdalena, she was like, this isn't about 2 like bitches fighting it out. This is about 2 besties, 2 friends who fought over a guy, and this is what happened. And the depth with it, my brother, sister, everything, love, Alexis, Jesse. Blazing a trail, shining a light, and showing us all what it really means to live out loud, like straight up live out loud. So thank you, mi amor. All right. Everybody else who was involved in this, Elvis Nolasco, who I am lucky enough to be working with again on another project, that is my baby. So, so anyway, I'm gonna go, but familia, that's what we're about. That's what we've always been about. My familia's here. You are all our familia. Gracias por venir. Gracias por estar aquí con nosotros. Gracias, Calixto. Thank you.
Like that.
give it up. Give it up, give it up, give it up. Please give it up to this cast. Lisa Vidal, Jesse Borrego, John Chino, Io Nolasco, Darnell Martin. Who else we got here? Jose Soto, you can come up. Yuli. Yuli, come up.
Did y'all have a good time? I want to introduce myself. My name is Dominic Colon. I'm one of the programs here at the festival. And I can't tell you how much you all are making my life right now. Because, raise your hand if you are some sort of creator, content, whatever. Yeah, a bunch of us. We're here at this festival. We would not have this festival would it not be for your brilliance, Darnell Martin. Because you liberated a voice of storytellers. Straight up. At 17, I was told what I looked like wasn't right, how I spoke wasn't right, how I presented myself in the world. And I saw this movie and I saw me on that screen. I saw my families, I saw my titis, I saw my next door neighbors. And that gave me permission to go out there into the world and take up space. And when the word independence came running through my spirit today, like as I was watching, and it was like, that's why we do what we do and why we are here at this festival. So God bless y'all. So first question, Darnell. Oh, okay. First question. Did you know that you were changing the game? Yeah, take your gum or swallow it. Go ahead, it's fine. Well, yeah, it's fine. We rented those. We don't. Oh, is that on?
Saying hello. It's funny because I just watching it right now. Like this was my first film, and this was my life. Okay. My mother was there when you guys were fighting, when you and Lauren were fighting in the street. And so my mother was there, and so my mother was fighting in the street all the time over my father. Like, so, I mean, this was my life. And so she was there, and she was like, oh my God, that's it, print it. And you had said the wrong, it was great, it was amazing. And she had said the wrong line, and I was like, no, that's it, we don't need to do it again. And my mother was like, yes, you don't need to do it again, that's perfect. But you had said, Chino, you're my father's son. Remember that? But the emotion was there. It was amazing. But it was really funny that my mother literally was there, and she was like, oh my God, she was like crying, So it's, it's funny because like growing up, and I cleaned it up a lot because we were a lot poorer than that. We were on public assistance. We were homeless half the time. But what I never saw love and a family like my family. And like, so it was really important, the specificness, like, so when we got paint, we painted orange and purple and red, you know what I mean? And flat, and it's really dated in a way because like the clothes and some of the stuff, but that's how it was. I was like, wow, that was what it was then. And so, it was funny just to see it now, and I felt like, damn, it's weird, like, like the colors, the clothes, but that's what it was at that time, which was so crazy.
Well, the thing is, you could be broke, but love translates. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that love comes through that screen. You see it in the colors, you see it in the performances, and that's why this movie still resonates 25 years later, because it was created from that place. I have a question. This is like for everybody, and we're just gonna do this like popcorn style. The first thing that comes out of your head. What are you feeling right now after watching that 25 years later? First thing.
I feel amazing.
What? All right, but yo.
Thank you. My heart is bursting, honestly. This was so special. I haven't seen the movie in years, so watching it is like, whoa! You know, it just brought back so many memories, and I'm just so grateful to Darnell because I'm
so grateful. I have to say this to these actors because literally, if you guys are actors, what you need to know is that directors sit there going, please be the one, please be the one, please be the one. And the ones are all up here.
Whew.
You know?
Thank you. You know, it's something special because she gave us all our shot, you know, and it was our kind of up and coming film, and she nurtured us. She gave us such beautiful stuff to work with, and she helped us as actors. We were young actors, and she really helped us dig deep. I'll never forget how she worked with each one of us. And we were blessed. We were so lucky because you don't always get that from a director. And so we do not ever take it for granted. And we just are so grateful. And I'm just also so blessed to have worked with such incredible people. I mean, Lauren Velez, the bomb. John Seda, Jesse Borrego. I mean, all these guys, Elvis Nolasco, Jose Soto. We had a sick cast, and it just was, we was all so invested. And so I'm gonna give it to John, but I just wanna say thank you to all of you guys, to each and every one of you, because you made this film huge. You made this film a success, and your voices were loud enough to say, I love this film, I want this film, and you have been loyal fans, and I just adore each and every one of you, and I'm so grateful, and thank you.
Yeah. Man, what's up? Chino got busted.
I got a close-up look at Chino, close up.
Oh, we're going there. We're going there.
And so did the rooster.
Oh, man. Oh, my gosh.
That's between us.
I'll tell you, you know, like, I'm feeling so many crazy emotions right now. It's unbelievable. I just,
Woo!
This was just such an amazing story to be a part of, and to work with this cast, and to go through what we did, and you said invested. Oh my gosh. You can see how it still affects me. I mean, I haven't seen the film like this, you know, from beginning to end. And I was just going back and having memories, and just all the way back to when we were rehearsing and discovering where we were going to go with every single piece of the film. And you know, it felt special when we were filming. It felt like something that was, excuse me, I can hardly talk. It felt like something that just was truly special when we were filming it, because we put so much into it. We put so much heart into it. I mean, everything. And not just us, but the crew and everyone that worked on it. Everyone gave so much of themselves to make this happen. And to see it now, this many years later, and to see the love and the response, and to see how connected everyone is, and just, I mean, you guys are all what makes it even more special. I mean, it's just, you know, you don't realize the significant moments in your life a lot of times as it's happening. It's usually you look back and you go, wow, that was amazing. This is one of those. This is one of those. I can't even tell.
I have a little secret I have to tell you guys. I have to say this. The baby Richie, was my real baby. That was my baby. And Darnell was like, you breastfeeding the baby? You got the baby. You can't leave the baby, so let's use the baby.
I hope you got a full day rate or weekly for the baby. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause,
The one word I would say, humble, definitely. First of all, to have worked, I think, with the production, your team was incredible. Your people were behind you. But again, to have worked with Darnell at a time when I really think she was such a visionary and so ahead of so many curves, but yet so invested in the culture of the time. You know, she was coming hot out of being, a rock star, new director, but I mean, just having worked with so many people at that time, I just worked with Taylor Hackford, I just worked with Allison Anders, so I knew right away when I met Darnell that something special was happening. So as the cast started to come together, and she's an incredible director because she loves actors, so we rehearse. I come from the theater. So once you start rehearsing, that's when the fun starts to happen. But in that improvisational, figure it out actors kind of style, but with that uber vision of this is where it's going. And actors love that. They love to know what's going on, but they love to have the freedom, especially actors of our caliber, to create. And Darnell was that light, and it's a light touch that a director has to have. She knew it, and yet you could tell that the overarching vision was something much huger. So when I saw the film, and I knew he was going to Cannes, I said, of course, it has to be at Cannes. But I knew that this film was going to last forever. And again, I had just done some other films that I knew my work was going to be important in, but I thought, this is the capper, this is the cherry, and this opportunity to be part of this film with this filmmaker is going to be something that I know in the future I am going to be happy to be a part of. So I'm so happy again that it has come. Thank you to the New York Latino Film Festival. Dominique, programmer, Calixto, but especially the fans, and those of you that have seen it, there's some people here that have seen it for the first time. Now you know why Cardi B bit the song. Because you know she grew up on it. You know she grew up watching this. And so again, thank you to Darnell, but again, it was the beginning of a lot of these actors' incredible, stellar career, and so I'm so happy again to have been part of that. But again, it was this woman who wrote it, it was this woman who led us, and again, her inspiration, thank you to that block on the Bronx. What was that block? That was...
Finley. 167.
And those people on that block, you see that first shot, when she was setting up that first shot, I knew we were doing something incredible. I went, look at this. And we pulled it off, but that entire block, I made so many good friends on that block. The familias, the raza, the gente that were there, and that jumped in with us as actors, allowed us to be part of it, but at the same time being part of our world, which is the making of this story. It was an incredible experience. Definitely one of my favorite film experiences that I will always treasure. Woo! So humbled. That's why I'm humbled. Yeah.
What's up, family?
What up?
To answer your question, Dominique, the first thing that comes to mind is gratitude. You know, the level of gratitude that lives in my heart for being able to be here, in 2019, to be able to, be right here before you guys. I also was transported in time, like you said, Darnell. I'm sitting there next to Darnell, and I'm just laughing, and I'm cracking up, but I'm also being enlightened, because we were ahead of our times, That mural just said it all. I mean, I was like, wow, that's right, the mural, the police officer. How many times we've seen that over and over and over again, and this was 1993, 94. But yeah, man, just gratitude comes to mind. But if you don't mind, I would like to share my little story. All right, it was 1991. I'm in Philadelphia. I'm studying theater. I'm doing all my theater in all the local Philadelphia theaters. And I learned about this thing called Backstage. And every Thursday, I was that actor that was at 6 in the morning at the newsstand in Philadelphia on Broad Street, getting ready to get my backstage. And I get this backstage, and I look at this thing, and it says, actors of color for a reading of a screenplay named Lisette. And I looked this up, and right away, what it said actors of color, Latinos, and I was like, oh, I gotta go to this. And it's 1991, and I got on my little red four-door Ford Escort, and I got on the turnpike, and I went to Boricua Casting on 22nd Street, Tracy Vallard and Yolanda. And I go and I do this reading, and there I met Jesse and Ulysses and Darnell, and we do this reading. And this is something very rare that if we're blessed to experience this in the industry, and that's the loyalty of people. And Darnell, when we did that reading, I remember her words clearly. Her words was, if I get the money to make this film, you will hear from me.
Yes. I meant it.
And 2 years later, I come home from my little black box theater in Philadelphia, and I check my voice message, the machine. We had machines back then. And it said, hi, my name is Meg Simon. And Darnell Martin gave me your number to give you a call so you can come in, because we're getting ready to do this, and we'd like for you to audition. And thank you. Thank you, Darnell. Because you told me those words in that brownstone, office of Boricua Casting, and 2 years later, my phone rang. Well, I got that message from Meg Simon, and I came into the audition, and I would never forget the look on me, you, Vincent, Victor's face when we were the last people left in the room, and Darnell was like, and we're like, what we gotta do next? What's the next thing? What's the next? Yeah, we're coming back, and then she's like, you guys got the job.
Like yesterday, bro.
And here we are 25 years later. So like it's been said, thank you so much, Darnell. Thank you for Meg Simon. She was the casting director, if you guys didn't know, for this film. And just to be able to work with John, with Lauren, with Victor, with Jose, I didn't get to have a scene with you, but 20 years later we did. But anyway, just gratitude. And you hit me in my face. I hit you in the face?
Ooh, she's salty.
Oh, yeah, I kind of go there. Sorry. Thank you.
Now, that was beautiful. Thank you so much. Now I have to admit something to you also, is that when you were shooting, Io, we all called you Io, and not Elvis back then, we all talked about, it was crazy. The guy didn't have a 6-pack. He had an 8-pack. Yeah. It was crazy. Yeah, you remember? Yeah. And so he always had like these little shows like, yeah, we gotta dress him so you can see that 8-pack.
You were a sex symbol back then.
And we down to 2.
I will keep this brief. The first thing that comes to mind and what I feel today, and what I usually feel when I think about this film, which is often is home. It sounds a little weird, but to me it's always home. I started acting when I was 6, and by the time I got this role, I might have been 17, 18. And I've been through so many things from stage and film, and I never felt really at home until I got to the set of I Like It Like That. And what really helped was not even filming. It was before we even shot. We rehearsed, and And Darnell goes, all right, everybody's getting together on the Saturday or whatever time it was, whatever date. And I went, huh? This is unheard of, you know, it's a film. Yeah, I want y'all to go hang out. You know, you're supposed to be boys, then be boys. And John had his little stealth, and we all piled in there like this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man.
And where did we go?
We went to Action Park, baby.
Not yet.
But we went to Action Park. We spent the whole day together. We hung out, and I mean, by the end of that evening, we became boys. I mean, we were home boys. And I could always look back and go, man, that was home, you know? So anything I've ever done after that, I always, in my mind, in the back of my mind, I compare to what kind of family I built during this wonderful piece. And it was just incredible, man. I'll never have another experience like that again. So I'm very thankful. And, you know, it was always nice for me to look up to, you know, you got Rita Moreno, you got Este Loco Aquí, Loco Allá, you got Jesse. Yeah. Jesse's my favorite actor, always has been, always will be.
Woo!
No shame. So I didn't get to work with him, but I would watch, man. I would watch and go, man, this guy got no shame, and do whatever it took. So anyway, it's home. For me, it's home. I'm sorry. It's home. Well, thank you all.
So, if I could interject real quick, I heard home, I heard gratitude, and I heard humble. And if I could add another word, it would be fearlessness. Fearlessness in acting, fearlessness in directing, in that writing. That's still 25 years, we're dealing with the same shit. So fearlessness, thank you, because this is all y'all. This is all you. So you have changed it. Hey, wow. So speaking of, it's for the fans. We have time for a couple of questions.
Ask her the tough one.
Yeah, real quick. Yes.
Yeah, right there.
Give me a Hello? Okay. Well, I just finished 5 seasons on Being Mary Jane. I don't know if you guys know that. Which Darnell, she directed me. We got to work together on that. And it was incredible experience. But now I am starting a new show for ABC called The Baker and the Beauty, and it is slamming. You guys are gonna love it. It's a 1 hour, it's great. We start shooting in the fall. It'll be out in 2020, so look out for that.
Anybody else want to plug? No? Plug? I said, anybody else want to plug? Another question? Yes. Stand up.
So my question is, you guys didn't miss a beat, right? Every act, even when he was knocking on the door and she's like, not on the head, my chin, chin, chin. Was anything improvised?
Again, like I said, Darnell has, one thing I realized right away is that an exceptional director has that light touch of how to inspire the actors with their vision, but at the same time allow, like she said, please be the one, please be the one, please be the one. At that time as an actor, I was doing a lot of stuff, and I think I would not have been able to pull this off without Darnell's direction. As an artist, she's very intuitive, and so I think what she did by getting us together and having the story he told about getting the boys together, she did that with every different group. She probably did that with you and Lauren, right? And then with you guys. Those scenes where the big fights were happening and all that, we actually worked on those, again, without and choreographed them for her visual, but kind of with that direction of actors figuring it out for themselves. So I thought that was so brilliant, again, and I had the same reaction when they talked about rehearsing. I was like, really, rehearsing a film? Interesting. And especially, you know, a film that's a sort of an independent, you know, on the edge. And so you're kind of going, but for actors, they love that kind of stuff. So all of that to say is that, yeah, she let us improvise to the point of that it became part of the character. But again, the writing was already brilliant. So we were already riffing off of what she had already written. So I think the best stuff is probably her writing, and then the flavor and you know, the filling in is our little, so Chinny Chin Chin, the baby cat. All of Alexis's best lines are Darnell's. You know, but I had to make them real, you know. I had to make them real. So, you know.
Also, you know, I know Lauren said a few words here. So what wasn't on the page and what we didn't even know was the history between Magdalena and Lisette. She created that. She was like, this is what I want you guys to think about, and this is your history, and this is where all of this came from. So that opened up a whole world of history for us to carry and to play forward as these characters, you know? So that really, really helps a lot as an actor.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'll have you first, yeah.
I have 2 questions, actually.
Well, we got time for one.
Okay. Okay, I won't be selfish. I would like to know, Jesse, what was your process in becoming Alexis? My favorite character in the movie.
Well, again, it's a lot of it is, I think what Darnell tried to do is really get all of us as actors, and again, when she says, hoping you're the one, is that you have some sort of a history or an understanding. Being Latino, growing up in the arts, being a dancer, you saw a lot of the beginning of what was going to be the transgender scene. A lot of our Latino brothers and sisters couldn't even be out, you know. But if you're in the arts, they are who they are, so you learn right away how to be tolerant. Not only that, to actually understand the lingo, to understand the life. But, you know, I had a very good friend of mine, Ozzy Rodriguez, who's a director at La Mama. He was my first theater director. He turned me on to Paris is Burning. And so I had a lot of source films like that. But then Darnell also gave me videos of the actual operation, which really traumatized me, by the way, I have to tell you. But she's that type of director. She was always giving me source material. Again, we sat there and we looked at stuff, we talked about it. So again, without her direction, again, as an actor, it would have taken me a lot longer, I think. But I drew a lot on what I knew to create Alexis, and then she filled in the rest.
I have to say something about these actors here, because if you have a top instrument, you know, if you're playing a Gibson guitar, that shit's gonna sound good. All right? You guys are Gibson guitars. All right? So the thing is that there's only so much a director can do. All I can do is try to put you in a place where you feel safe. That's really it.
And you did.
You know, and then it's you guys, and it's all you. So, you know, please own it.
I just want to jump on that real quick. When we keep saying, she's saying, be the one, let them be the one, be the one. That also meant, that just didn't mean being the right person for that role. It meant also, like, to be able to do the things that she's going to ask of us that we didn't see coming. I mean, like, you know, I'll give you one example. I'm doing a rehearsal with Tommy Melly, and, you know, played my son. And, you know, we're doing a scene where he doesn't want to listen to me. You know, where he drops the clothes and I'm telling him to pick it up and he doesn't want to listen to me. So I'm thinking, oh, I'm gonna do my acting thing. I'm gonna tell him, hey, pick up your clothes, man. You know, and he's gonna listen to me, right? Little did I know, she was working with him and told him, I don't care what he says, I don't care what he does, I don't care how he looks at you, I don't care. You do not pick up those clothes. This is in rehearsal. She said, I don't care what he says. I'm thinking, you know, I'm going to go in there. He's going to follow the script, you know, and just eventually pick it up. So we go, and I do my thing, and I'm like, you pick up the clothes. He said, no. Pick up the clothes. He looks at me. And I'm like, at this point, I'm like, okay, there's like 3 times where he's supposed to say no, and eventually, you know, like then we go to the next part of the scene. And he's just sitting there. He's not listening at all. And I'm getting frustrated. And I go over to her, and I'm like, so, he's not, I don't know if does he know the scene? Does he know his lines? Does he know, I mean, I know he's new. you know, maybe he doesn't know that he's supposed to eventually, you know, do his part, you know? So she's like, well, I don't know. She's like, you get him to pick it up. Okay, so I go back, and this went on and on and on and on. I was so frustrated. But it was just brilliance. It was brilliance, because that's what came alive in the film.
She played you like a Gibson guitar.
Oh, yeah, she did. She played me. Oh, it was amazing.
That was not the
God
only
bless
time she
Tommy.
played you, though. That was not the only time she played you, though.
Tell him.
Did she call the cops on you once?
So,
Yeah?
Really?
I'm gonna tell that story.
so really quick.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, what did you do? Why did I call the cops on you?
Was this, wait, no. I did that for revenge because you called the cops.
No.
And they're not drunk
Did we do
yet.
that first? Where's Sonia? Is Sonia here?
You and Lauren.
Sonia.
That's true.
Sonia, how did it happen? Did we do our
Wait, can we
thing?
give a shout out to Sonia Gonzalez, the super editor?
Did
Sonia, vente pa acá.
come down here? How my memory's a little shaky. Who went first? Was it our joke or was it?
First.
Boom.
No, but they started, okay?
I got your back. I got it.
Well, let me just say what you did to me.
I'm gonna stop. Okay. Right before we do, and yes, I set them all up in their little families. They took the kids out and hung out at Coney Island. They did, they had their whole little thing going. And so then I said, look, I want you to be careful. Lauren was about to get married to somebody at that point, right? I said, I want you to be careful with the sex stuff, with the love scenes. Don't rehearse that on your own, okay? You can hang out, but don't do that because it could get a little weird, you know? So we're about to shoot the next day. I have my perfect Lisette and Chino. You know, like, oh, please be the one, and they were the ones, and they came in. So they come in, and they're supposed to rehearse, and Lauren comes in, and she's in tears. She's like, you know, and he comes in, she's like, get him away from me, get him away from me, get him away from me. I'm like, what happened? And you have to understand, like, I'm Miss Women's Rights, okay? But then you also have to understand something else. There's only one thing I care about more than anything in the world, and that's my film. Right? And they fucking knew that, so they played me. So then she's like, we rehearsed the love scene, and he tried to rape me, and you better get another Chino. And I'm sitting there like, and I'm like, and we have to shoot the next day. I'm like, what if he apologizes? You know, I'm dead serious.
All right, that is true. That is true. But it was Lauren's idea.
She's not here.
She's not here to
It was
defend
her
us.
idea. It was Lauren's idea.
And so,
And that's home.
She got me
My
back
home.
real good.
And so, since he was a rapist, right? You know, we start shooting, and we're on the block, and everybody loves him. Everybody knows everything. We're doing the whole blocks together with this, and all love. And then, so I'm like, all right, I remember that. I'm gonna put that away. You a rapist. And he comes back. He goes, yeah. Last night I went to Club USA, and it was Club 2000. No, it was so great. Da, 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 da. And so I'm like, all right. And so then I hire a guy, and I rent a cop car, and the whole outfit.
Yo, y'all
I
are
get
mean.
a girl. I fuck up her face, okay? And he's coming back from lunch. The cop car pulls over and cuts him off in front of everybody. The girl
As she gets out of the car, I'm walking with Vincent. He's like, hey, we got to go to set. I'm like, what? We have a break. He's like, no, we got whatever. So we're going to the set. We're walking to the set. All of a sudden, this cop car comes flying around the corner, right? This chick jumps out of the car. Her face is all messed up like she got beat up the night before, right? And she's coming at me. And Vincent's getting in between me and the cop. The cop comes over and he's like, excuse me, you John Stidham? I'm like, yeah. He's like, you mother this, you think you're gonna get away with it at Club 2000 last night, remember? And I'm like, because I was at Club 2000.
But I know I didn't hurt nobody, right? So I'm thinking
Oh my
somebody's
God.
setting me up. I'm just thinking, I don't think it's a joke. I'm thinking someone's setting me up. So I'm like telling Vincent, call my manager. Here's his number, and tell him this and tell him that. And the guy's putting the cuffs on me. He puts me in a cop car, and then he goes, you have the right to remain silent, the right to remain this, and the right to know that this is a joke by Darnell.
So,
And I wasn't happy.
so the moral of the story is don't fuck with Darnell Martin because she will get your ass. Unfortunately, we are out of time because we have another screening. But we have a party. We'll be handing out flyers. You are all invited. But could I please get another round of applause for Darnell Martin and the cast of I Like It Like That.
1, 2, 3.
That was so amazing.
I need a radio.
Amazing. What a good time, man.
Getting so emotional. Big baby now. What's happening?
Not beginning.